Okay, baby. So today we are going to have, as I was telling you, the last explanation, the last grammar explanation of this first term. And we are going to be talking about past perfect. But before doing this, guys, we are going to make like a review of present perfect. At the very beginning of the year, if you remember, we began working with past simple, past continuous, and we also talk about present perfect. So before beginning with this explanation, let's try to remember what is that, present perfect. You can check your notes and tell me, what is it, present perfect? When do you use it? How do you use it? What is it? What is present perfect, guys? Think about it for a second and tell me. What do you remember of present perfect? What can you tell me about it? Present perfect, guys. What is it? Check your notes. Go ahead, you can do it. What is present perfect? What do you remember?
It's the tense. Well, I don't remember well when do I have to use it, but it's the tense that has like a subject, have or has, and then the verb. I think it's in past participle. I don't remember well. Mm, Let me check my notes. I'm looking for them.
But yeah, it's it. That's it. Okay, do you remember that? You have to use an auxiliary verb that is have or has according to the subject. And then you have to use the verb in participle. Camilo, what can you tell me? What do you remember?
I remember that the past perfect is for talk about facts that actually con- it's continue. How I could say
Okay, that's present perfect. Yeah, you're going to use, guys, present perfect. For example, when something begin in the past, do you remember that? It begin in the past, but you are going to have consequences in the present or in the future.
oh that's present.
Tell me, baby.
That's present. I don't know
Yeah,
what
that's present perfect.
that's
Present
present.
perfect. So yeah, look at this. Present perfect. It's when you have, guys, these activities, these actions that began in the past, and you are going to have consequences. You are going to keep working with that in the present or in the future. For example, if you say, I am going to send you an example through the chat. I have seen this movie before. Look at that. I have seen this movie before. What is the meaning of that sentence in Spanish? If I want to say that in Spanish, what am I saying?
Yo he visto esta película antes.
That's it. Yo he visto esta película antes. So let me ask you guys. This is something that happened in the past. This is something that this person did in the past. Does it mean that this person is never going to see this movie again? I mean, the fact that this person watched the movie in the past means that the movie is never going to be seen again? No. It's possible that this person is going to watch the movie like maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 years, but the possibility is open. Or for example, if you say, she has studied to pass the exam. So tell me, the fact of study, she has studied to pass the exam, that fact of studying is in the present or is in the past? What can you tell me?
That's in the past.
Exactly, it's in the past. What happened with the exam? The exam is in the past or is going to happen?
It's actually in the present.
That's it. It's like the present, maybe the future. She had to do something. She began an activity in the past in order to be able to have good results in the present or in the near future. That's present perfect, my dears. When you have something that begins in the past, but you have like consequences, you have the continuation of that in the present or in the future. So that's it. You have to use the auxiliary verb has or has according to the subject and the past participle of the verb. Easy peasy. But if this is present perfect, babies, what is past perfect? What can you imagine that may be? Let's let's make the question again. If present perfect, babies, is an activity that begins in the past, but it has consequences in the present or in the future, that's the reason it is present perfect, because it has consequences in the present. What happened with past perfect? What did you imagine?
I think it's an action that started and finished in the past, but will have consequences in the present or in the future.
Kinda. I mean, the first part was okay. So yeah, it is an action that begins, it is an action that finishes in the past, but here is the difference with the present perfect. The difference, my dears, is that you are not going to have consequences. No van a tener ni una sola consecuencia. This is just something that happened in the past and that's it.
¿Qué? ¿Cómo así? Me
Mhm.
siento estafado.
No, don't. But now let me ask you this. Me dirán, profe, bueno, pero si entonces es algo que inicia y termina en el pasado y sin consecuencias, ¿eso no es pasado simple? So tell me, Juan Camilo.
But the sentence that you sent by the chat have consequences in the present because she has studied for his
Yeah,
exam.
that has consequence because we were talking about present perfect. We were exemplifying present perfect.
Oh, I think that's past perfect.
And now we are talking about past perfect, not present, but past perfect. So look at this, me dicen, profe, bueno, listo. Una acción que inicia y termina en el pasado y no tiene consecuencias. Les pregunto yo a ustedes, ¿eso no es pasado simple? What can you tell me? What do you think?
¿Cómo, profe?
I don't know if Camille is talking. Hey, Emily, don't worry. Okay, so my dears, look at this. Maybe you can say like, okay, teacher, but this is like exactly the same as past simple. Arranca en el pasado, termina en el pasado, so no big deals. The thing is this one, babies. When you have past perfect, it means that you are going to have an old action. It is usually used with past simple, but it is the action that happened first. Entonces pónganle cuidado. We are going to begin talking about past perfect, but keep in mind this, para que no se confundan. The past perfect begins and finishes in the past. No consequences in the present, no consequences in the future. It is just an action that happened in the past. Keep it in mind, okay? And I am going to explain how is this different from past simple. So let's begin with this sentence. I am going to ask, um, Jose, baby, can you please help me reading this slide?
Yes, sir. What's the difference between these two sentences? A. When I arrived, she left. B. When I arrived, she had left.
So, babies, thank you, Jose. What's the difference? When I arrived, she left. When I arrived, she had left. What's the difference between those two sentences? What can you tell me?
The
Que no
have
tiene vida.
Oh my God, raise your hands because I wasn't able to hear you at the same time. So, Camila, tell me.
in the difference it's only the hat that changed the time of the sentence.
It is only the had because it's changing something in the sentence. Okay, yeah. What happened, Cami, if you say this? I mean, give me the translation of this. When I arrived, she left.
Cuando yo arribé ella se fue o algo.
Ella se fue. What happened with the next one? When I arrived, she had left.
Cuando yo arribé, ella había abandonado, creo.
When I arrived, she what? ¿Ella qué?
Había abandonado.
Se había.
Se había ido.
That's so look at this. It is not just the had, it is the entire intention of the sentence, babies. Look at this. This first one is just in past simple. ¿Se acuerdan que cuando hablábamos de pasado simple decíamos como, bueno, tenemos una secuencia de acciones, una pasa después de la otra y todo está en el pasado? Eso es pasado simple. This one, when I arrived, first action, the action that continues was that she left. This one happened first, this one happened on the second place. Cuando yo llegué, ella se fue. That's it. But what happened with the second one? You don't have like a chain of activities or eventualities here. When I arrived, she had left. Cuando yo llegué, ella ya se había ido. So tell me, what happened first? The fact that you arrived or the fact that she had left? What happened first?
She left.
The fact that she left. So look at this. Ella se había ido. Miren la diferencia. Cuando ustedes están hablando del presente perfecto, es como un he hecho, he estado, he estudiado, he mirado. Cuando es el pasado, todo está en el pasado. Había estado, había hecho, había ido. Okay? That's it. Let's continue. I am going to explain part by part these examples. Look at this. Here you have the first example that I gave you. When I arrived, she left. That's it. And this is like a mini timeline. You have your present time, that is this one. And look at this. As I was telling you, you have two actions that were completed, that were over in the past. Finished actions, but actions that are in the past. The first one was the fact that someone arrived. First action. The second one is the fact that someone left. Second action. So one action and the other one continues. This is just past simple. Esto es solo pasado simple. But the difference when you are using past perfect is this one. Mírenla. You are going to have the same timeline. Tiene la misma línea del tiempo. But what happened? Once again, you have two actions. The fact that someone arrived, the fact that someone left. But there is one action that happened first. Hay una acción que es más viejita que la otra. Hay una acción que ocurrió primero que la otra. In this case, as you were telling me, is the fact that she left. So, you have two completed actions in the past, two finished actions in the past, dos acciones completadas, terminadas y acabaron, but one action is older than the other one. The older action, babies, is the one you are going to use with past perfect. La acción más viejita es la que ustedes van a usar con pasado perfecto. That's how you can identify it. Así es como lo usan, así es como lo identifican. Cuando están hablando en pasado, por ejemplo, están relatando una historia y tienen una serie de eventos y uno sucedió antes que el otro, hay uno que es más viejo que el otro, ahí viene pasado perfecto. Questions up to this point? Let me ask you something then. Is it possible to say she had left when I arrived? Can I change the order? What do you think? Yes or no?
Pues es lo mismo, solo que en distinto orden, ¿no?
Exactly. So there is no problem. In this case, guys, there is no problem if you change the order of the sentence. She had left when I arrived. That's it. No big deal, no problem. Okay? Keep it in mind. Past perfect, the oldest action. ¿Listo? La más viejita. Dos acciones en pasado. La que sucede primero va en pasado perfecto. Questions? Okay, let's continue then. We are going to check then like the explanation. Now that we have checked the examples and that you have been understanding a bit, we are going to read like the explanation, okay? So I am going to ask Juan Sebastian, can you please help me reading this slide?
Sure. We use the past perfect to talk about an action which happened before another action or point in the past. He passed the test because he had studied a lot the day before. by 2006, yeah, maybe, he had made 6 movies.
Okay, thank you, baby. Look at this. First of all, we have this explanation. We use the past perfect to talk about an action which happened before. Look at this, an action which happened. This is a relative pronoun. This is something we explained in the previous class. Can you see that you can use it everywhere? So an action which happened before another action or point in the past. The older action. Okay? Something that is older than the other action. Lo más viejito, algo que ocurre primero, en algún punto antes de otra acción o punto en el pasado. So we have these two examples. Keep it in mind. I am going to put the sentence that goes first, like in simple, and the one that happens like before on red. That is, past perfect. So look at this. He passed the test because he had studied a lot the day before. So take a look to this one. What came first? ¿Qué vino primero? ¿Qué pasó el examen o qué estudió? What happened first?
¿Qué pasó primero? Estudio.
Estudió, exactly. Entonces es como, bueno, y se dan cuenta, son oraciones de la vida normal. Él pasó porque estudió, porque había estudiado un montón el día anterior. So the first thing that happened is the fact that he had to study in order to be able to pass the exam. So look at this. In this case, you are using the sentence with past simple in order to tell you that there is something before in past perfect. But what happened with the second example? Oh my gosh. Take a look to this example. By 2006, he had made 6 movies. Let me ask you, do you have like a structure or something in past simple? Yes or no?
Teacher, could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. Take a look to the second example we have here. Like by 2006, he had made 6 movies. In this first example, you have like a structure in past simple that is telling you, hey, this is the most recent action. But what happened on the second one? Do you have like a sentence? Do you have a structure in past simple or no?
La fecha, eso como decirlo en inglés.
The date. So yeah, that's it. You don't have like literally a structure or a verb in past. No tienes un verbo ahí en pasado literal diciéndote, hola, estoy en pasado simple, yo fui después de la otra acción. No. But you have this date. You may have dates, specific moments, specific points in the time. Not the action, as this one, but the specific point in the past, in this case, by 2006. So what happened first, babies? That 2006 arrived or that he had made 6 movies? ¿Qué pasó primero? What happened?
The movies.
The movies, exactly, guys. ¿Qué fue primero? Pues que esta persona hizo 6 películas. Cuando llegó el 2006, él ya había hecho 6 películas. Así que el 2006 ya pasó. Es una acción completada en el pasado. Ya es un año que se acabó, ya se fue. Que él haya hecho las 6 películas, también. Ya es una acción completada, se acabó, está en el pasado y ya. Pero una fue antes que la otra. Esa que fue antes que la otra es la que va a ir en pasado perfecto. Questions up to this point, guys? Okay, so I am going to give you time to take notes. You are going to take notes. And please don't forget to try to write with the different colors. In that way, it is going to be easier for you. So go ahead, some seconds to take notes.
Teacher, when we talk about he, she, or it, we say had, and then when we talk about like you, they, we say has or that.
When you are talking about present perfect, cuando hablas de presente, no pasado que es el que estamos hablando, but present perfect, remember that you should use have or has according to the subject. So for example, he, she goes with has and the other ones with have. But in this case of past perfect, Cami, you are going to use only had for everything. But we are going to talk about the structure in some seconds, okay? Okay, my dears, ready? Can we continue on or no yet? Please let me know.
Give me some extra seconds, please.
Okay, don't worry. Please let me know as soon as you're ready, guys, in order to continue.
Finished.
Okay, perfect. So let's continue, my dears. We use the past perfect to talk about an action which happened before another action or point in the past. So let's keep going. Let's take a look to these examples. I mean, these are examples that we have been talking about before, but tell me, which happened first? The key in this topic, babies, the most important thing is to be able to identify which event happened first. Si ustedes pueden identificar qué pasó primero, ya van a saber cuál es el que va a ir en pasado perfecto. So look at this. This example, he passed the test because he had studied a lot the day before. Luis Felipe, what happened first? That he passed the test or that he had studied a lot the day before? What happened first?
Tell me, teacher.
What happened first, baby? What came first? That he passed the test or that he had studied a lot the day before? ¿Qué pasó primero?
Had studied.
That's it. He had studied a lot. For that reason, he passed the test. Very good. Let's go with another one. Look at this. He studied, he passed the test. Look at this one. By 2008, they had moved house. Juana, what happened first? The date or the movement? Juana?
Yo, teacher, perdón. The date.
So that happened first. Lo primero que sucedió fue la fecha. Or this. What happened first? ¿Qué vino primero? 2008 or the movement of the house? So Juana says, teacher, the date. What do you
I'm
think?
sorry, the move of the house.
That's it, Juana. Yeah, the first thing is that they had moved house. Para este año, ellos se habían movido de casa, se habían mudado de la casa, ¿sí? So, first of all, they have this, and then the date came. Can you see the images? By this time, they were already there. Okay? So look at this. I am going to show you some extra examples just for you to understand this a bit better before talking about the structure, okay? So I am going to ask Mariana Yala, Princess, can you please help me reading this first part of the slide?
We can use the past perfect with the past simple to show the order of events or with a time reference. Los ejemplos también, profe.
That's it. So look at this. Yes, but give me a second. So look at this, guys. You are going to have two ways or two moments to recognize the use of past perfect. First of all, with past simple, because past simple is going to show you the order of the events. You are going to have something that happened first, something that happened in the second place. For that reason, you are going to have a notice action. Or you can use past perfect with a time reference. For example, a date, for example, an hour, for example, a day. So we are going to check some examples. Remember, the ones that are with green are the ones with past simple. The ones with purple are the ones with specific points in the time. So go ahead, Mariana. Please help me reading the first 3 examples.
I wasn't hungry because I'd eaten dinner. He'd run out of milk, so he went to the shop. I realized I'd forgotten my wallet.
Thank you, baby. So look at this. The first one. I wasn't hungry because I'd eaten dinner. What is this? What is this I'd? What is that, guys? What is it? Who can tell me?
I think that is I had, but already.
See, this is a contracted form, the short form of I had. Si ustedes quieren escribir el had de forma cortita, simplemente le ponen el apóstrofe al sujeto y ponen una D. Okay? This is the contracted form, but it doesn't matter if you say because I had eaten dinner. It's okay. So look at this sentence. What happened first, guys? That this person wasn't hungry or that this person had eaten dinner? What happened first? Who can tell me? Maybe Juan Sebastian. Juan Sebastian, what happened first? That he wasn't hungry, that this person wasn't hungry, or that this person had eaten dinner? What can you tell me, baby? What happened first?
I think the heat and dinner. It's the
He
first.
eaten dinner. Very good. ¿Cómo lo identificas? No tenía hambre porque ya había cenado, ya había comido algo. ¿Qué pasó primero? Pues que comió algo. Por eso no tiene hambre. So that's it. Let's take a look to the second one. He'd run out of milk, so he went to the shop. What is the meaning of run out of? What is the meaning of this? This is a phrasal verb. Run out of. He'd run out of milk. What is that? ¿Qué será eso? What do you imagine this may be? Run out of. What is the meaning of that? Go ahead, babies. By context, you can take it. ¿Qué será run out of something?
Se acabó.
Se acabó, se quedó sin algo. So he ran out of milk, so he went to the shop. So tell me, Samuel, what happened first here? That he'd run out of milk or that he went to the shop?
He went to the shop.
That's the first thing that happened?
Yeah.
So take a look again, Sammy, because look at this. ¿El por qué fue a la tienda?
Por leche.
Por leche. O sea, que ¿qué pasó primero?
Ah, ok. Se dio cuenta que necesitaba leche, así que fue a la tienda.
Claro.
He ran out of milk.
He'd run out of milk. He had run out of milk. Se quedó sin leche. Eso fue lo que pasó primero. For that reason, he went to the shop. 2 actions in the past, 2 completed actions, but 1 action happened first. Let's take a look to the last one. I realized I'd forgotten my wallet. Or I realized I had forgotten my wallet. So let's ask to Emily, Princess, what happened first here? I realized I'd forgotten my wallet. ¿Qué pasó primero ahí?
I don't know, teacher. I don't understand.
Read the sentence, baby. What happened first? ¿Qué pasó primero? I realized or that he forgot the wallet. That he realized it or that he forgot the wallet. ¿Qué pasó primero?
I realized.
Once again, what is the meaning of realize? ¿Qué significa realize about something? I realize I need to do my homework. ¿Qué es realize about something? ¿Qué es eso? To realize about something. What is that, guys? Who can tell me? Babies, what is it? To realize about something.
Darse cuenta.
Darse cuenta. That's it. Thank you, Jacob. So, Emily, if to realize about something is darse cuenta, what happened first? That he realized, que él se dio cuenta de algo, or that he forgot the wallet?
No, espera.
Pero la oración te está diciendo, me di cuenta que había olvidado mi billetera. ¿Qué pasó primero?
Ok.
¿Que se dio cuenta
Porque
de la billetera o que se olvidó la billetera? What happened first?
se dio cuenta.
Eso pasó después, no, mi amor. Primero se tuvo que haber olvidado de la billetera para darse cuenta que no la tenía. Si él la hubiese tenido, pues no se da cuenta. ¿Sí ves? Entonces, primero se le olvidó algo y después de que este algo se le olvidó, fue que él se dio cuenta de lo otro. I'd forgotten my wallet. For that reason, I realized I'd forgotten my wallet. Okay?
Ok, profe.
Okay, princess. So let's go now with the three other examples. With a time reference. So Juana, princess, can you please help me reading these three examples we have here, the purple ones?
Yes, teacher. By 2008, she had written 3 books. He'd finished it before 4 p.m. They'd already bought a camera.
So look at this. Once again, by 2008, she had written 3 books. What happened first, babies? The fact that she wrote the books or the fact that 2008 arrived? Jose, what happened first? In this example, 2008 or that this person had written 3 books? Jose, are you there, baby? Jose, maybe not. So let's go with Luis Felipe. Baby, what happened first? 2008 or the fact that she had written 3 books?
What is the question, teacher? I don't understand very well.
What happened first? ¿Qué pasó primero? What happened first? The fact that 2008 arrived or that she had written 3 books? What happened first?
I think that she had written 3 books, no?
That's it. As soon as this year begins, she already have 3 books, okay? Let's continue with the next one. He'd finished it or he had finished it before 4 p.m. Jacob, what happened first in this case?
In which exercise, sorry?
What happened first? He'd finished before 4 p.m.
He finished. That happened first.
That happened first. That's it. The first thing that happened was the fact that he had finished, and then 4 p.m. arrived. And the last one, look at this word already. They already bought a camera, or they had already bought a camera. Do you remember, babies, that when we talk about present perfect, I told you how to use just, how to use already, how to use yet? Okay, so this is one of those words. What is the meaning of already? What do you remember of this? What is the meaning of already? What is it? Already.
Like, yeah, or
Think,
Yes.
como un ya.
Yeah.
So, for example, this one. They had already bought a camera. Ellos ya habían comprado una cámara. So, what happened first here, Juan Camilo? ¿Tienes dos deberes acá?
That they had a camera.
That they had bought a camera. But look at this example, guys. You don't have like two moments. En este no tienen dos momentos. Acá tienen un año y una acción. Acá tienen una hora y una acción. Pero acá, you don't have it. But you have this word. You have already. Es como un ya. Ya había pasado eso. Okay? So you can also identify the use of the actions with already, with just, and so on. Okay? Puedo usar acá just. ¿Qué significa el just? For example, si yo digo lo digo en presente perfecto, yo puedo decir, I have just bought a camera. ¿Qué estoy diciendo? I have just bought a camera.
Yo solo he comprado una cámara.
Como acabo de comprar una cámara, yo acabo de hacerlo. ¿Puedo hacer eso acá? ¿Puedo decir, I had just bought a camera? What do you think? ¿Cómo le sonaría eso? I had just bought a camera. Yo acababa de comprar una cámara. ¿Se puede decir eso? Yes or no?
I think that no.
It is weird. I mean, you can do it, but it is not normal. To say
That's
that you
how
just did something. Acabas de hacer algo porque no estás dándole el tiempo para que otra acción suceda y que esta sea la más antigua. ¿Sí ves? Es algo que acabas de hacer, algo tan reciente que no tiene un después de más acciones. So it is not normal, but already is something that you can use. So babies, questions up to this point? Something to say up to this point? So I am going to give you some seconds to take notes. Ready, my dears? Can we continue? Please let me know. Babies, yes or no? Can we continue or no yet?
Not yet, teacher.
Okay. Please let me know as soon as you're ready.
I already finished, but maybe some extra seconds for my partners.
Okay, but your partners are super quiet. What about the others, guys? Ready or no yet? Okay, we are going to continue because there is no answer from anyone. So guys, past perfect. Now that you have this clear, babies, now that you know that you use past perfect to talk about the oldest action, to talk about past events with no consequences, but old past events, we are going to continue and we are going to talk about the form, the structure. Okay, but we are going to do it with these other slides. Look at this. So we are going to talk about the structure. Let's begin with affirmative. Affirmative sentences, the affirmative structure of this. When you have affirmative sentences, it is just, the structure is this one. It's super easy, babies. You are going to use the subject, then you are going to have an auxiliary verb that in this case is going to be had for everything. Este es otro de los cambios que ustedes tienen versus el presente perfecto. Que en el presente perfecto tú tenías que mirar si era have o si era has, dependiendo del sujeto. Acá no. Aquí es súper fácil, mis amores. Siempre, 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 siempre va a ser had. It doesn't matter if it is a girl. It doesn't matter if it is like a lot of people. It doesn't matter. It is always going to be had. And then you are going to use the main verb. That is going to be the verb in past participle. Remember that is the third column, el participio de su verbo. And finally, the rest of the sentence, like the complement. Questions about this structure? So we are going to check some examples, okay? So I am going to ask, Paz, hello, you are in class. So baby, can you please help me reading these three examples? These three? Paz, are you there? Well, maybe he's not here. So, Mariana Poveda, Princess, can you please help me reading these three examples?
Yes, I one Mohammed had met Yashan before he became famous. Two, Hasma had just gotten home when she heard the blast outside. Three, Ayla loved Akaba because he had grown up there.
Thank you, Princess. So look at these, babies. The structure. Subject. Then you have the auxiliary verb that in this case is had for everything. And then you have your verb in participle and the complement, the rest of the sentence. So Muhammad had met Yassam before he became famous. What happened first? ¿Qué pasó primero acá? Who can tell me what happened first? That Muhammad met Yassam or that Yassam became famous? What happened first? Mariana Poveda, tell me, what happened first? ¿Qué pasó primero? That Muhammad had met Yassam or that he became famous? What happened first?
Muhammad had beat Yassan.
That's it. Él primero lo conoció, después de que ya se conocían, pues él se volvió famoso. Can you see? The same things happen on this one. Asma, it is a name, not an illness in this case. Asma had just gotten home. Look at this. Miren el ejemplo. Miren el just acá. Había acabado de llegar a la casa. Pero acá no te están dando solo eso, te están dando otra cosa adicional. Un evento que siguió de una inmediatamente, así que este se convierte en el más antiguo. Asma had just gotten home when she heard the blast outside. And look at this one. Allah loved Akaba because he had grown up there. The first thing that happened is that he had grown up there, and for that reason, he loved Akaba. So questions about the affirmative structure in affirmative sentences in past perfect. Some seconds to take notes. Ready, my dears? Can we continue or no yet? Someone? Ready? No yet? Something? Okay, we are going to continue because you are super quiet, okay? So this is the structure in affirmative. Subject, then the auxiliary verb that is had for everything, and then the verb in past participle plus the complement. What happened with negative, babies? The only thing you have to do here in negative is this one. You have to put the auxiliary verb that is had in negative, and that's it. So you can do it as hadn't, or you can do it as had not. So once again, you have your subject, you have your auxiliary verb in negative, and you have the verb in participle. So I am going to ask, Jacob, can you please help me reading the three examples? Go ahead.
Tell me, sorry.
Can you please help me reading, baby, these three examples you have here?
Oh yes. Rawan left nervous when I got to class because she hadn't done the homework, and Bashar had not eaten at that restaurant before today, and Hala was overjoyed to see her mother because she hadn't seen her for 3 weeks.
That's it. So tell me, Jacob, can you see a mistake in any of the three examples you have there? Do you have a mistake or everything is good? Take a look and tell me.
No sé, el hadn't de la primera,
That's
pero
it. That's it. The heading of the first sentence, guys. That's the mistake you have there. Look at this. Raman felt nervous when I got to class because he hadn't. Look at this hadn't. Miren cómo está escrito ese hadn't. It is wrong, guys. Be careful because it has happened a lot. Muchas veces cuando están negándolo así en la forma pequeñita, me lo escriben mal. No solo hadn't, this is just an example, but with have, with has, with done, with does, and with a lot of things, cuando lo escriben cortico. Recuerden, mis amores, que cuando ustedes lo van a poner cortico, lo que hacen es, oh my gosh, give me a second. Give me a second, because this is it. So, remember, my dears, that when you have to put something in negative, the first thing you have to do is this one. Ustedes lo ponen cortico porque lo que hacen es unir el verbo auxiliar con el not, y lo que hacen es quitar la O y el apóstrofe les va a reemplazar la O. Entonces, siempre el apóstrofe va a ir en el lugar de la O. Pilas con eso, ¿ok? So, my dears, Rowan felt nervous when I got to class because he hadn't done her homework. Sorry, she hadn't done her homework. Can you see in negative? Look at the next one. Bashar had not eaten at that restaurant before today. ¿Ven? En negativo. Pueden ponerlo had not, pueden ponerlo hadn't. Or this one, because she hadn't seen her for 3 weeks. So, questions, my dears, of the structure in negative? Questions about it? It is just putting the auxiliary verb in negative. No questions? So take some seconds for your notes. Ready, my dears? Can we continue? I think so. And finally, my beautiful babies, we are going to talk the structure for questions, the interrogative form, okay? So look at this, guys. What is the thing you have to do when you have a question? I have told you this like a lot of times. You have to change the order, okay? So instead of having like subject, auxiliary verb, in this case, you are going to have the auxiliary verb and then the subject. Got it? So look at this. What is a question word? Remember that if you have a question word, that is going to be the first thing, but you don't always have it. No siempre la tienen, por eso les pongo eso entre paréntesis, para que se acuerden. Question word, for example, this one, how much? How, when, why, what, where, WH questions, question words. Pero si no la tienen, igual la estructura es la misma, con o sin question word. So the first thing is going to be your auxiliary verb, then the subject, then the verb in participle, then the rest of the sentence, like the complement, and the question mark. Got it? So let's take a look to these examples. Luis Felipe, baby, can you please help me reading these 3 examples?
Okay, teacher. Examples. Had you ever eaten American food before coming to USA? 2. How much had Hannah drunk milk before you got to her? 3. William saw that Betty was crying after she talked to Barney. What had to what had he told her?
That's it. So look at this, my dears. The first one. You have first the auxiliary verb, the subject, you have whenever. Acuérdense que cuando tienen un just, un never, un already, siempre va a ir entre el sujeto y el verbo en participio, ¿listo? So, had you ever eaten American food before coming to USA? ¿Qué pasó antes? Que no ha comido o que no se sabe si ha comido antes de este otro evento, antes de ir a este lugar. Look at this one. How much had, aquí tienen una question word, how much had Honey drunk milk before you got to her? Y miren esta última, especialmente esta última. Wilma saw that Betty was crying after she talked to Barney. Is this a question? Is this first part a question? Yes or no? Tell me, is the first part of this sentence a question or just a sentence?
Just a sentence.
That's
No,
it.
what question? What example?
Number three, this one.
Okay, yeah. Just
Just a sentence, guys, because in this case, in this question, you have a context. So, Wilma saw that Betty was crying after she talked to Barney. Ya saben que estaba llorando. ¿Qué quieren averiguar? ¿Por qué estaba llorando? ¿Qué pasó antes de eso para que ella estuviese llorando? What had he told her? Can you see? So that's when the question comes. Questions about questions? So some seconds to take notes. Okay, ready, my dears, or no yet? Please let me know. Did you take notes?
Yep.
Yep. So that's it, my dears. Past perfect. Something that happened in past, but that is older than another action or another point. This is the summary of the things I just told you. So remember the most important things. The auxiliary verb is going to be had all the time, and you are going to use the verb in past participle. That means the third column. So I had met Lucy before. Had Tom met Lucy before? They hadn't met Lucy before. So, as you don't have more questions, we are going to have some time to practice, okay? So 1 minute, guys, to check the things you have, the notes you have, while I open the Kahoot. We are going to be doing a Kahoot to practice a bit, and of course, we are going to keep practicing the next class next week, okay? So give me a second while I do it, while I open it. I am going to stop recording the class right now, babies. Don't forget that you can find the recording in today's forum, but you're going to find it tomorrow, the link, or in our YouTube channel. So I am going to stop the recording of the class right now.